And I'm joined, thanks to CJ Wildheart for absolutely returning and come back on the show. Good to see you, CJ.
Yeah, it's always good to see you, Lee, and it's always good to speak with you. So,
Thanks, man. Appreciate your time. I really do. First up, how are you, mate? Because I know you've been ill the last couple of weeks. We were talking a little bit about it there before we hit record, but for anyone
oh
who's
yeah,
concerned about you.
I had COVID for the third time, but I mean, luckily enough, the second time I got it, it was. I mean, I touch wood. I haven't been like. I've had moments of where I have been sick. I had a really bad bout of food poisoning, which took a long time for me to get over. But the pain I was in the second time I had COVID for about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I was in bed like I just the pain I felt from it. It was just ridiculous, and I just dosed myself up on codeine. But I thought I was going to get it like that again this
Yeah.
time, and this time it was a couple of days feeling really crook,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm over it, thank God. But it's my wife's had it 5 times,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, well, she works in hospitality, so she's surrounded by
Yeah,
like
surrounded by
sick
people all the
people.
time.
Yeah, so just I'm kind of thinking I might get this. It might be a yearly thing now. So I'm just lucky I'm quite strong. So we'll see.
Well, fingers crossed you don't, it doesn't knock you out. I mean, it seems like every time you go to release an album with the last few that there's something crop up. I remember with Siege last, I'm sorry, with Slit, that you were waiting on. Obviously, you had the problem with your flat and everything that was going on this time around. You being
Oh, flooded. Yeah. Well, between my flat flooded. My mom passed away as well at the beginning of recording Slots, this album. Um, it's just life, isn't it?
yeah,
Nothing runs smoothly, and you have to deal with these things, and I'm not one of those people. You get no names mentioned, but there's people, they'll break a fingernail, no, on Twitter straight away, and their life's ruined. You
yeah,
know, monitors don't work, life ruined. I'm not one of those people. When my life is ruined, it takes my mum passing away or my
mm,
flat flooding. These are things you get really depressed
yeah.
about. You don't get depressed about shitty monitors. You don't get depressed about, a little dent in your car or something. So I've always tend to there's always going to be bumps and bruises in life, but sometimes you get knocked for six, and when I get knocked to six, yeah, it does get me down. My mum obviously passing away got
Yeah,
me
of course.
down. I carried on recording. I thought I was gonna I thought I wouldn't be able to record this album Slots because of
Mm.
that, and thank God I did. My dad said to me once, you chose this path, son. I'll be really disappointed if you come off it because you've been doing this for so long. Just stick to your guns, man. Stick to your guns. I respect the fact that no matter how well you've done or how bad you've done, you've carried on making music. So I made this one for my mum.
Nice. It's nice that both your parents had that backing on you because I've known, I've got to know a few mates who've been in bands and to various successes and things like that. But it seems like the moment the spotlight comes off to a certain degree, people seem to think, oh, well, that's them. This part of them or this act that they were in went away. Therefore they should now go away, which is bollocks. Because if you're playing music and you've always written music, that's what you're always going to do. It's a passion. It's not just based around certain people that you might have played with once upon a crime sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the music in me, and I think I'm unusual as an older artist because I'm not. I'm 57 on the 27th of this month. It's a few
Mm.
weeks away. I turned 57, and older artists, a lot of them, as they tend to get older, they slow down or they change direction. Where I'm getting more punkier, and I'm still on fire, and I'm still going to be on fire in 20 years' time. It's got nothing to do with the amount of hot sauce I'm making, but I'm on. I can't see myself not ever making, punk and roll as I've been named now. People call
Yeah.
it punk and roll. I can't see myself not ever making that. I am, however, this current state of the world, Brexit didn't help. And the fact that the world seems to be off access, I'm not selling as much as I used to, especially abroad. My overseas market is gone practically because
Oh,
of
really?
import charges, how much it costs to send stuff abroad. And so I am in the process of making a huge decision whether to I could just stop music and get a proper job for the first time in my life, or I could carry on making music and get a part-time job to run alongside the music. So something that can guarantee, when I say part-time, I mean something that would bring in money to pay my overheads, my bills and stuff like that. Because every time I release an album, I am pissing in the wind because I never know how much I'm going to sell. And obviously I have overheads. I have to get, pay for recording. I record mostly at home, but the minute I take it to Dave Draper's studio, he's got a charge. The minute I get Jason Baldwin, I'm going to pay him. Then I'm going to pay for manufacturing of CDs and T-shirts and vinyl. And that, it doesn't just land in my lap. And, I have overheads, and the amount I'm earning now it's less than what I was earning 10 years ago, if you can believe that.
Wow.
And it's like, but I carry on and I want to carry on. So my way of thinking, I know a lot of musicians, I know a lot of people who think they're rock stars and they're literally playing in front of 200 people in Europe.
Yeah.
You are not a rock star. You're not even close to a rock star. I know a lot of people who think they're rock stars, and the shit they do online to earn like 60 quid. Rock stars don't do that, man. They don't do that. And it's like, I've got a 10-year-old son, I've got a wife, I like going on holiday, I need a new car. If music isn't bringing in me enough money to provide, I'll do another job, and I'll hopefully play smart and do a job to run alongside the music, so I can carry on releasing albums until I'm 80.
Well, I
Who
hope you
knows?
continue releasing the albums, mate. Because, like you say, I mean, this last sort of obviously since last what four, was it three studio? This be third, fourth studio album, 4 or 5 years.
I don't know. This is studio album number 6, but that's not including the live album and the best of album
Oh yeah,
as
you got
well.
live and kicks as well.
Solo
Yeah.
albums, yeah. And I had a DVD come out, and I had a demo album come out as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's about solo album number 9 when you put it like that.
Yeah.
I've got 2 albums coming out in Japan. My best of has just come out. I've got Split coming out in January in Japan.
Nice.
So I am keeping busy. I mean, I had to sell a couple of my Aston Martins, man. It broke my
Yeah.
heart, you know. I
You
just
had to let 'em go.
sometimes I had to let them go. I had to let Villa and Cans go as well. Sometimes you just got to come down to the normal working man. Let's
Got
go.
to bring it down a bit sometimes, haven't you?
Hey, I've still got a Lambo, so times are tough.
Yeah. Just keep something back for yourself, eh?
Yeah, I don't eat 12 hour anymore. Just I couldn't get rid of the caviar habit. You got to store something, don't you?
You gotta have some joy. You gotta have some joy in life, haven't you? Also, you talk about slots there, and then obviously the pre-orders are going really well. The reviews have been coming in thick and fast, I've noticed, which is great. I mean, it is 10 tracks of non-stop, to use the phrase that it's being coined, punk and roll. The energy kicking off from the very first track all the way through. Do you ever change your songwriting process? Do you ever do anything, or is it just this is whatever's going to come out within that writing period that you do is going to come out?
No, I still rip off the same bands like I've always ripped off. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. Any singer songwriter says, they slaved for months and they came up with this new sound. They're talking out of their asses. Every single song, it's the same song written over and over and over. I mean, how many times have you? I did a cover version of "In the City" by The Jam. Now that riff, how many times have you heard that in a song, a punk rock song? There's the classic da 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 da, and it's like Stiff Little Fingers, it's Green Day, it's Blink 182, it's me, it's Ginger. It's like my songwriting process is I don't write on an acoustic guitar. I'm starting to record my next album
Oh wow.
this month, right? And I've got about 10 ideas on my phone, just a few riffs, but they're ideas. I've heard a song on the radio, heard a song on the TV, went, ooh, I can rip that off. And I'll put the song down on my phone, and I'm gonna rip that song off and turn it into my song, and that's how I write. And I'm a magpie. I've got silver's my favorite color. And it's like, well, no, it's not my favorite color, it's my favorite like precious metal, should I say. My favorite color is like red and black, and them two together. But inspiration, I get my inspiration, and it's normally from pop, hence my songs being very catchy, and you've got to get to the chorus as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
When you put a single out, if you're not on that chorus by within about less than a minute, and then it's single, is it?
No, that's not.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you've had the change in the band lineup as well, and done shows with those guys ahead of like recording and that. But did that, like those live shows playing with new people, influence how you were writing, or was the songs already down by that point?
The songs were down, but I've got to say the band I have now
Mm.
is. I wish I had this band in 1996, you know, or 1995 when I signed to Sony for 870,000. Sorry, Willie. I learned so much of Willie, you know, Willie Dowling. Those 2 years I had in Honeycrack, I think I learned more in those 2 years than I've ever learned in my entire musical career. Just being in a band with four guys who could all sing, record, make music, play like 100 times better than me. Um,
Those songs with Honeycrack still really stand up. Though I
oh,
revisited these again not so long ago, and those tracks still really stand up on their own. Still,
I mean, if I was going to choose two albums, if an alien landed and said, "Oh, pick two albums," you've made a lot of albums, CJ. Pick two albums for me to listen to so I can get a grip. I'd pick Earth Versus because it's the best Wild Arts album, and I still think they're the best songs Ginger's ever written. And I'll pick Honeycrack. I go, you get the best of both worlds, and you know, because a lot of people said like Honeycrack sounded like the Wild Arts. I go, we weren't. The Wild we There's lots of bands that sound like the Wild Arts, but Honeycrack were way more polished and a better looking band. You know, we were wearing 2 grand suits. You know. It's like, but I'd pick those two albums, and then if I was going to pick a solo album, I'll pick the one I've just made
yeah,
because, yeah, um,
nice one, man. I mean, like I say, from the moment another big mistake comes through, what I love is like even the finest punk rock albums tend to peter off towards the end, but even on like I don't know what it is brilliant all the way through it. There's no relent on it. It was great. But what made you choose The Baddest Girl in the World as the first single? Because me, there's no sort of dip. So what made you pick that one out as the first sort of lead single from?
it was. I asked my band. I think a bit before I got waylaid with my jibber jabbering, which I tend to do. The band I have now are the band. Yeah, I wanted along. They're perfect.
Yeah.
Never been in a band where just we all get on. We're like the best of mates, but they're great. They're like such good. Dino, my guitar player. I mean, he replaced two people, two guitarists and two singers. Ben, my last guitar, he went off to do the Wild Arts, but those guys were young, had nothing in common with them. And,
Mm.
I'm almost 60. And when you've got guys who are like 29, what do you talk about? I'd mentioned stuff to them. They never heard of it, you know? They didn't even know who Brian Kent was, and it says a lot.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna have to give him a history lesson.
So, it's I'm in a band with people my age.
Mm.
I've got this Dino he's a better player than both those guys. No offense to those guys, but he's got more style, more feel. He sings. We've got chemistry, and that's the thing. That's the thing people forget about with bands. It's not about the front man. It's not about the drummer. It's not about the bass player or the rhythm guitarist. It's about getting people on stage who've got chemistry,
Yeah.
and if they've got that natural chemistry, doesn't matter how good or bad the songs are going to be, that chemistry will carry, elevate whatever's coming off that stage to a
Oh
different
yeah.
level. And now you can't audition chemistry, you can't buy chemistry. It's a natural process. And me and Ginger had natural chemistry.
Yeah.
Me, Ginger, Danny, and Richie had natural chemistry. Me, Ginger, Scott, and Richie had natural chemistry. I had chemistry with Willie Dowling. It's taken me this long to get a solo band where we've all got that chemistry together, and I will never, hopefully never change that solo band again. And Dino was the missing piece. I've worked with Lee Ray, my bass player, for
Mm.
years, and then Craig on drums. Dino was the missing piece, and I won't change that band. But they all said, yeah, go with the baddest girl in the world. That's definitely the single, and the video was perfect as well. The cheapest video ever made by a girl called Debbie Strain, and she's brilliant. She made us look like a New York, 70s punk band, rehearsing in a basement somewhere. It's
It's a
brilliant.
great it is a great video. I was going to mention, it's the energy that you're talking about between each other kind of really comes across on it. It's got like that kind of vibe about it. And yeah, I mean, I've played in bands as well. We know what it's like when you think something's right and then one element gets changed and then you go, there's just a click in the room and everyone can feel it. You can't, like you say, you can't audition that. It's just something that happens when the right people in the room at the right moment, so to
Yes.
speak. But you
Yeah,
know,
and you know, sometimes it happens naturally, other times it didn't. It took me and Ginger a long time to find the right band.
yeah,
I mean, Danny was like our third bass player. Richie was like our third drummer.
well,
It took a long time, for us to find those right people. But you go through. It's taken me 10 years to find the right solo band. And I thank every person who's been in the solo band with me, because if it wasn't for you lot, I wouldn't have been here where I am today. So I thank a lot of you. Thank you.
are you releasing any more singles ahead of the album itself coming out?
I am, yeah. So we go to Japan in
Is it
March, and
March?
we're going to film. Yeah, March. We're filming a video in Japan for.
Oh, cool.
There's a song on the album called "You've Got the Best Part of Me,"
Yeah.
and we're gonna release that. I have a lot of people who help me, and they help me. They don't charge me, but they just help me, and they kind of advise me on. And they're saying that song, it's a really nice song. It's
It's good
punky, but
fun.
it's got that real commercial sort of feel. And the fact that you're going to Japan, don't waste that opportunity,
No.
because it's like, and so we're going to film like sound checks, us, playing along to the track. I'm gonna do some lip syncing in Shibuya and Shinjuku, and just have this whole kind of us in Japan sort of vibe, and have that out on March the 28th when the album
Oh,
officially
cool.
is released.
Oh,
Yeah,
wicked. How did
yeah.
that? It's been a. When did you last play Japan solo wise?
I haven't. Last time I played solo was 2017.
Okay.
Last time I played with the Wild Hearts was 2019, and something happened out there. An altercation happened between Ginger and our record label, and it cost me my solo deal. And
Oh, all right.
um, yes, and that was the last time the Wild Hearts ever played in Japan. And I thought I'd never ever get back out there. And uh,
Must feel good
don't
to
get
get
me
that
wrong,
when that offer
you
came
know,
in to do shows.
it's the head of my record label, his favorite band's the Wild Arts, and uh, he runs a punk rock label that they only put out punk rock bands, in
Yeah.
mostly Japanese punk rock bands. But his heart's in the right place, and he really likes my music, and he's given me a chance. Even if it's the last time I ever play in Japan, I have a lot of friends in Japan, and it's so nice to be able to see him again and just see the fans out there. And I can't wait. I'm actually really excited, and for a man of my age to be this excited about playing some shows is yeah, it's quite bizarre.
That's cool, man. Is it 3 dates all you're doing out there though? I saw, is it?
Just two, but we're
Okay.
out there for a whole week, so we've got
Mm.
a few days off, so it'll be really nice. And like Lee, my bass player, he came out when my solo band toured there in 2017. But Dino's never been to Japan, never played there before. Craig's been on holiday but never played there before.
Oh wow,
And
so it's a bit of a new experience for everyone.
Japan, don't they? So I mean, it's gonna be great. It's an adventure for us, and I can't wait. Really can't wait.
Yeah, nice one. Speaking of live shows, the recent shows with Micheal Monroe looked insane, man. That looked like really good. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it down because my mum's been going through some stuff, so I missed it. But I had some mates who did come down to the London show, and they said it was absolutely off the hook.
It was both shows. I mean, they were rammed. London was sold out, over 1,000 at KK's, and it's like I don't get to play many bigger stages of my solo band, and it's a real shame what I've taken for granted and other people have taken for granted over the years. The chances we were given in the stages we played, the size of the tours we did, having all the crew, and just people basically generally wiping our asses for decades.
Yeah.
And so when I do get on a bigger stage, and it's a gift. It's a gift, and we get great photographs out of it. We filmed the KK show.
Oh,
We had a
okay. Cool.
venue. So we're dropping as a Christmas present on December the 20th. I'm dropping a live version of Sitting at Home from that show. We
Oh,
mixed
right.
it and we've done a video for it. Yeah, so we're dropping that as a freebie on the 20th.
Oh, nice. Do you
I
feel
could
like
rap on it, but I'm not that type of person.
do you feel more at home on those bigger stages then when you've got that bit more space and
Yeah, all right. Any musician who says they miss playing the smaller shows because they can connect with it, talking out at their collective asses, all right. Who on earth wants to do small shows, have no dressing room, you know, no tour bus, no crew? Yeah, there's a level you get to. You don't need to be Taylor Swift or Oasis or Metallica. You get to a certain level in the music industry where you are looked after, and you basically have these servants, your crew. They do everything for you. You know, put your drinks out for you, set your gear up for you, set pack it down for you. You know, and you're being ferried around on a tour bus, and you stay in nice hotels and get to fly all around the world. And oh, you'd rather, like, be in the back of a transit van, sleeping on people's floors, drinking, crappy lager, and having a pot noodle for your rider. Bollocks. Of course, I miss the big shows, and I feel much more at home on the bigger stage. Yeah, much more at home. Yeah.
You mentioned you got the best part of me there, which it's like from you saying, it sounds like from a few people. It's one of my favorites on the album itself. But where did that song in particular come from in the songwriting process? You know.
I wanted to write a song for my wife,
Yeah.
so
Fair play.
Little Flower was written for
Mhm.
my wife. There's a song on Split called Victoria. That's my wife,
Yeah.
Vicky. That was written for her as well.
Yeah.
And I wanted to write another song. I'm going to write another song for you. And she went, "No, you're not." And I went, "Yeah, I am." And then so I wrote, yeah, the best part of me. But it's a punk rock love song. And it doesn't matter, if you're in love with your wife, your boyfriend, your husband, whatever. It doesn't matter. You give the best part of yourself to someone you love. Whether it's your children, your parents, you always try and give them the best part of you. You should. And that's basically what the song's about. Yeah.
So, man. Were there any songs when you were writing that really sort of dramatically changed shape while you were sort of recording them, or were they all kind
Yeah.
of?
Bent.
Oh, yeah.
I tamed it down a bit.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yes, yeah. If you, I mean, Bent's a pretty angry song.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should hear the original.
All right.
I tamed the lyrics down, and the reason why is because when I wrote that song, I was let down by someone I thought was a friend, and they let me down in the most hideous way a few days before my mum died, and lied to me, double crossed me, and the way I deal with negative emotions is I always put it in my music.
Yeah.
And that
Good.
exercise of the demon. And on the end of Bent, you hear the little old lady from Poltergeist saying, "This house is now clean." It's
Yeah.
basically my heart, my soul is clean. I've let out what that person done to me is gone, and that person is out of my life. And I've put that just raw, just the way they let me down. They upset me so much. It
Mm.
was on par with my mum the week my mum died, and having that happen to me, the upset they put me through, and they still don't even realize what they did. They're
Wow.
so ambitious and so just blinkered that they just don't realize. And I hope one day, maybe in 5 years or 20 years time, they'll realize the way they behaved. It wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it. You don't treat people who treat you with respect and have always been friendly and always given you opportunities. You just don't treat them that way. You owe them a level of courtesy.
Yeah.
And I put that negative energy into a song, and it's gone now. And I wish them all the best, and they're getting exactly what they deserve. So that's the way things go.
Well, like
Karma.
I say, it's a good way to vent all these sort of emotions. So yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
you've done it when playing and writing. So yeah,
it's
it's a
hard. It's when you're younger, your emotions are all over the place. So a lot of younger people tend to it's there's a reason why they send young people to war in there.
yeah.
All right, there's a reason. And as you get older, you should be more in control of your emotions. And I've always been a fiery person, but as I've got older, I've mellowed out. But I see a lot of people my age and people I used to work with, people I haven't worked with, and they get angry over nothing. And it's like, come on, just turn into that older, cool older person, the one the kids look at and go like, that man, he doesn't get angry. He's wise, like the old
Yeah.
Indian chief.
Yeah.
He used to be a warrior when he was he
Yeah.
would have looked at you and scalped you, you know. Now he's old and he's smoking the peace pipe and he's just full of wisdom. And that's the type of older man I want to be. My dad. That's my
Yeah.
dad. My dad was the coolest person I ever knew, and he was wise and he was like the old Indian chief.
Yeah.
And that's the person I want. I don't want to be an angry old man. There's nothing more embarrassing than seeing old men losing their temper. It's awful.
Oh no, I remember. Who's I want to go see? I want to go see a mate's band play up in Birmingham, and a couple of old blokes, way too much to drink, blah blah blah. One was kind of like just doing that thing. He was so I think he was fucked up on other things, to be honest, but he was like walking through people, and it ended up being this like huge fight, and like everyone sort of my age and younger kind of looking around, being like, "Do we?"
Oh,
Ben, like, I mean, this is pathetic. Like, and it was all handbags at dawn. You know what I mean? It was all puffing
yeah.
action and no real scrapping going on, just rolling around the floor like a couple of idiots, to be honest. And
You know you can still make lively music. You can still have fire in your soul, man. But there's a way to act as you get older, man. You got to have some decorum. It's really,
particularly,
it's nothing better than being a classy older person, whether you're, whether you're a lady, whether you're a gentleman. But it comes a point in everybody's lives where they have to just grow up and be a bit cooler, man.
yeah.
Calm down, you know.
The thing,
I
and
know
you
you.
know, it was over like bollocks as well. It wasn't even worth it. It wasn't worth the fight. You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
someone, I don't know, being like taking down anyone in verbally or having a pop at anyone. It was just he knocked into another bloke because he was pissed, and like I think he knocked into me about 8 times, and you just kind of go, like, "Come on, mate, handle your beer," but I'm not going to throw you
I
on the
used to when I was younger, I used to love like the Wild Hearts because we were all really like spicy and like quite sassy people, like fiery, and it was great. Some of the like little rucks we used to get into and stuff. But it's like it's that you get away. It was always good when it's like someone goes like, "You're old enough to know better," and I went, "No, I'm not, you old git." But if I imagine I'm at my age now, almost 57. If less than 2 weeks away, I'll turn 57. If I started on someone in the pub and you're old enough to know better, and they went, "I'm such a git, aren't I?" I went, "Yeah, you are. You sit down in the corner and drink your Horlicks and shut up."
We'll say so. No fine in Japan. There's proper warriors out there.
So, the reason why I lost my record deal last time was someone in my band or my old band was fighting. It was nothing to do with me, no, it's when I go to Japan, the fact that we've made it there again, I can't tell you what it means to me. It's like it was like you have a list of a few things you want to do, and that was in there. Get back out to Japan. Try your hardest to get out. I've been trying for almost over 4 years, and the fact that I'm going again, it's just wonderful, wonderful.
Well, you got the Japan shows lined up. Have you got any plans for any UK shows lined up as yet?
I am. I mean, I know a lot of people, and I have a lot of friends in bands, and whenever they announce tours, I always send them a cheeky email saying, please,
Yeah.
put my name in the hat. And luckily enough, Michael gave us a couple
Yeah.
of shows, and I always ask, and uh, 9 times out of 10, I'll get a lovely reply back, which I was expecting,
Yeah.
because I'm not in a big band. I don't have a big deal. There's no tons of adverts or anything like that. I'm a, self-finance. I run the label. So they are going to take a younger band out who, can put adverts and have a bit of more money pumped into them and probably pull in, an extra 300-400 people. I understand that, but there's no harm in asking, mates and stuff like that. So it's tough. It's really hard for someone as small as me to get on the tours, which people are playing in front of 1,500, 2,000 people a night.
Yeah.
They're going to take out what, Florence Black or someone like that. You know what I mean? Yes, over CJ Brown. Florence Blacker than me.
I mean, last time I saw you, mate, was on the like we spoke about before, was the tour with with Danny, with David Ritchie and Jay and Scott Sorry and all that when
Oh
we
yeah,
did that tour. I mean,
that was amazing. Yeah.
that was incredible. I mean,
Yes.
it was in the it was Bricky. It was the Norwich date that I went to, and it was the all three acts were fucking incredible. And like
Well, sometimes you get tours which aren't more than tours, they're like events and they're
mm,
like special. And
something that
me, Richie, and Scott, just we've always got on. And the fact that we're all on a tour bus together and we did that tour, and kind of knew back then it was probably the last time the three of us are ever.
Mm.
It was probably the last time you'll ever see that many Wildhearts on one stage ever again. If you and Wildheart fans will understand what I'm saying. You know, I'm talking proper Wildhearts.
Mm.
But it was so nice. It was so nice just to be back on stage with Richie and Scott, and just it just feels like family. You know what I mean? Feels like
Yeah.
family on stage with your brothers, and I'm glad we did that tour. You know, and I don't think Richie, I don't think anything can get Richie out of retirement again.
Yeah.
He's retired now. He misses around in the studio, and you know Scott's got his own problems, and he's on the other side of the pond. You know, he's so far away. So
I say
you
because
know,
Jay's just come back with Jay of Grand Theft Auto. He's just come out with that new project as well, which is sounding good. But
is it concrete hernia or
yeah,
something?
the Concrete Hyena or something. Yeah, Concrete
I
Hyena.
hernia. Sorry, Jesse. Concrete hernia. It's a better name, isn't it? It's a proper punk name, isn't it?
That's a proper punk name, that though, isn't it? Concrete
Yeah.
Hyena.
Concrete hernia on tour with Flemme Brûlée. Brilliant.
Perfect. But obviously, like I say, Scott's had his health issues come back unfortunately since, but it's good from what I've
Yeah,
seen.
I know he's trying to get his album together. He's got another like solo album.
Oh,
He's
that's cool.
I know it's taken a long time, but I talked to the guys in his band and they're saying, yeah, it's happening. They're moving forward. So he'll definitely be having new music out. And me and Scott have spoken about doing stuff together, but it's just being so far apart and
Yeah,
stuff like
logistics.
that. The problem with me is if I record something, I got to make some money from it.
Oh yeah,
I can't just record stuff for shits and giggles. I think I get a lot of bands approach me saying, "Will you play on this?" And I go, "Yeah, this is how much I charge." I went, "Oh, can you just come down for some beer and stuff?" I go, "It's always been my bread and butter, man. Why? Do you honestly think if I had a hobby, I'd play in a band? You weak for a hobby. Someone who's never made any money from it. No,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
if you get it something, never do it for free. So
It's always been my job. So I mean, if
well, it helps.
couldn't think of anything worse as a hobby, playing the guitar and playing with a bunch of blokes for a bit of beer money. I mean, it's like hobbies are supposed to be nice.
Stick to the cooking for your hobby, mate. Stick to the cooking.
Definitely, yeah, yeah. Like cooking and dogging. I mean, you're the two best hobbies in the world.
Perfect combo. You need a
You
snack
can't,
afterwards.
especially if you combine them. You
Oh.
know, that is not a hot dog.
But speaking of the cooking side of things, I did see all your Devil Spit went to the last Micheal Monroe shows as well, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Devil Spit is the guy who produces it for me. It's based on my mom's recipe, but he's moved up to Scotland, so he can only do like one cook a year for me now.
Yeah.
And I don't sell it all the time, so it's literally on sale maybe twice a year on my shop. So I am gonna do another sale in spring, but I get a certain amount made and it always sells out. I should get more made, but I like the fact that it's the hardest hot sauce to get hold of in the world. So I hardly
Yeah.
ever see it. I think there's something, the legend precedes it, which is good.
Well, my nephew got a bit of a fright, so he was I was cooking it. He came over and I was in the middle of cooking a chili. And he came in and he's like and he just I saw him pick up the bottle. He's only 10, bless him.
Oh,
And his I get on well with my brother-in-law, but he's very much plain, dull, nothing, no seasoning, let
right.
alone it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but meat and potatoes kind of guy. So that's what Charlie's been used to eating, bless him. He went, "What's this one called?" I was like, "Oh, it's just a bit of hot sauce, mate." And he went, "Can I try a bit?" And I went, "Yeah." And I didn't, yeah, it was the extreme garlic, and I just saw him crack it, and I didn't realize it was only because I had like the four like on the sides, and I
Yeah.
didn't quite realize which one he picked up. I thought he picked up sort of
That hurt.
little bit.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's my day. God, man, if I was in Victorian times, I would have had a workhouse, mate.
That's all.
Terrible. Yeah, or that or a chimney sweep. I would have been.
Well, he was talking about. Well, he was talking about it to all my other nieces and nephews the next time I saw them, and then they came round.
I tell you what, because my boy's 10, and he's seen I saw my mum put hot sauce, her own homemade hot sauce on everything. So by the time I was like about 10, I was trying it, and my mum's hot sauce was like, it'll kill you. And I grew up on that. And Josh is the same, my little boy. You know, he's like, I mean, if we the rare time I don't make a curry, and I say we'll go to an Indian or order
Yeah,
something in, he always gets a madras now.
yeah.
And I've got him trained. I mean, he's going to be on the Vindaloo, I reckon, by the time
He's going up well, mate.
he loves the spice. But when he was about 3 years old, we used to go for a walk by the river, and I used to make him sandwiches and make me one. And his sandwich would just be plain. Mine would always have my devil's spit extreme garlic on it. And one day I gave him my sandwich by mistake, and he took a bite on it, and a scream that came out of it. Literally within about 30 seconds, he started giggling. And I was like, oh, you get it.
You
You
got
get
it.
it. He got it even at the age of 3. And yeah, he's going to be a complete chili file like myself. Yeah, he's
I lived with a. I mean, I thought I liked spicy food. Then I lived with an Indian lad when I was at university in my first year, and then it was like baptism by fire. And it was, and I loved it. Absolutely
it's
loved
it's very addictive. A lot of people go, how can you eat something which doesn't taste of anything? And I've never had anything so hot that I haven't been able to taste it in my life.
it.
But I go, you don't understand. Start off really mild, but you will get a
Yeah,
buzz from the chili. It's a natural antidepressant, and it releases endorphins. It makes you feel good as well. You get high off it, and it's put it this way: I'd rather have a chili habit than a smack habit. You know?
absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
my wife's gone vegetarian at the beginning of this year, so there's a lot more me delving into different cooking and thing, and just paneer's become my friend and everything else, and just switching up.
Yeah, paneer's boss, brilliant. Man. Do you brown
Yeah.
it off though before you
Oh
cook
yeah,
it?
crisp up first, and then that's what. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you off in a minute. But no, good, good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man. But yeah, that's good to hear you doing well, man. Obviously, looking forward to hopefully seeing you live next year. What are your plans for next year? And sort of, are you doing any kind of events online or otherwise in the build on launch or
Well,
anything?
yeah, I'm about to start recording my next album. It's called Devil, and
Nice.
that's going to drop. I want it recorded before the spring, but I don't know when I'm going to put it out. Maybe after the summer. I'm after a few more support tours. If I don't get them, I'm going to go out on my own in May. Do a
Hmm.
handful of shows with the solo band in May. Drop another hot sauce like sale. I just keep them cracking away. I might have to get a job in the summer to run alongside them. So if anyone's near Harrogate McDonald's, come in. I'll give you some free fries for the cheeseburger. Just give me the nod. I know who you are. If my fan is in Harrogate, yeah. And
Are you
you
still
bought
working
my
with Ian Shaw?
with Ian Shaw.
You're not
Oh,
working
at
with?
TPO.
Yeah.
The agent. No, I've got a different agent now.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I've got a different. Ian took it as far as he could. I just think it was a bit too small for him.
Yeah.
So I've got a punk rock agent. My manager's taking care of that, and yeah, I can't. The problem is, it's like I can't play too many shows because the fees I get they're
Yeah.
not massive. And I have people think, I go out, I have a splitter bus, I have
Hmm.
a band who stop working, so they need to get a little wage.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to stay in hotels. So I have to earn a certain amount before I play, before I can actually get up on the stage, or else I'm paying to play and I can't do that. If I had
Yeah.
to pay to play, I'd just have to stop playing. So I can only do the gigs where the fees cover my overheads.
Yeah.
And so I have to play less, and I'm not going to go out with like Dino and like have both of us on stage doing renditions of our songs without a full band. I can't do that.
No.
That's not what I'm about. And I'd rather get a job. But
No.
I want people to remember me on stage in the air.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not
Not doing
playing
acoustic
Big
bits.
Berth on a Thursday night, with 60 people singing your songs from 20 years ago. I don't want to do that. It's not what I'm about.
No acoustic shows for you.
I'd rather get a job. I'd rather get a job. It'll be more enjoyable than playing acoustic shows. I think there's something really sad when you've grown up on seeing artists on stage
Yeah.
full. Doesn't need to be the biggest stage in the world, but even in a little pub, you got lights, you're through a PA, you got a drummer, a bass player, guitarist, whatever,
You got
and
that
it's
full attack.
loud. and then seeing that person going out playing acoustic shows just to earn a buck. It's really sad. It's like seeing a racehorse in a field, you know, a knackered old racehorse munching on a carrot. I can't do that. If I can't do it properly, like put out albums, play proper shows, you know, make proper videos. If I can't do that, then I'm just going to stop, because I want people to remember me, you know, a certain way, you know, and I think there's something. Do you know who Creme Brulee is? You know, the League of Gentlemen. There's a Les.
Yes.
Yeah, I know quite a few Leses. That sounds really rude, doesn't it?
It
I know a
paints,
lot
paints
of
a picture.
Leses, but you know what I mean? That sad old musician.
Yeah.
You know, I can't be that ever. Yeah.
No. No. And I think we've all seen it, to be fair. You know, I think we've all seen it and gone to wherever, and you turn around and you're like, what happened? You know,
Yeah.
and you don't want to, I never want that.
You
So,
don't, I mean, and you need a little bit of pride, and you need a little bit of courage to say, right, I'm not earning enough from this anymore, and I'm making a bit of a fool of myself, and I need to stop, rethink my life. And there's no shame in getting a job in home base or getting a job driving, if it's going to just get you back up on your feet and make you come back stronger and doing it properly. You know, there's no shame in that. But you know, a lot of artists, you know, think they're, you know, above and beyond that.
and not,
But
no, it is. But you know, but
mm,
with, you know, with Siege, with Split, with Slots, he's still putting out incredible music, man. And I just hope that, you know, the right opportunity comes your way live wise for next year in the UK, because I want to hear these songs live after listening to
yeah,
this album now.
I said, whatever happens before I start working for Amazon, definitely going to do some more shows. Definitely, yeah.
Awesome. I'll see.
And I promise you, Lee, I won't just throw your parcel on your doorstep and run away.
You're not just going to flung it over my head.
No. I'll ring the doorbell before I run away. Yeah. I'm fine.
Good. See, good potential employer, right? Employee right there, mate.
Brilliant. Yeah. But I always appreciate the support, Lee. You know, you're a
No problem, man.
top dude, mate. Top dude.
Thanks, Dave. Like I say, you know, I've been fan of yours for many years. Just, I love hearing having new music from artists that I love. And it's an honor to anyone who gives me their time to chat away to them. So yeah, appreciate your time as always, CJ. And thanks for coming back on, man.
Thank you very much. And wait till you hear the new album, Devil. You'll love it.
Yeah. Looking forward
Yeah.
to hearing it. Well, at the beginning of the interview, mate, we are going to play the baddest girl in the world, as it's the lead single from Slots. Appreciate we can't play anything else just yet. But
Well,
what's
I think you can play. You can
what,
play another big mistake, because I'm just putting that up as a, you know, when you just put a song up and it's got a cover and it's just a download.
oh yeah.
That's going on Spotify and Bandcamp
Yeah.
and it goes up on December the 20th. It's just been given away.
Oh,
Like
perfect.
it goes up as a download with the new live version of Sitting at Home as well.
Oh, perfect. Then we'll play another big mistake at the end of the interview, then, mate, and we'll have it.
I'm giving stuff away like this.
All right, man. Well, good to see you, CJ, man. Take care of yourself, dude.
Thank you very much, Lee. All
Cheers,
right.
mate. Take
Talk
care,
to you
man.
next year. Bye bye, mate.
See you, mate.